So we're still in the topic series where we just go to different alternatives to get access to EESSI, and that usually means getting access to CernVM-FS. I think in the first session we just discussed a bit how to install the CVMFS client. Then last session I wasn't there, Richard probably used the EESSI container script. And today we have another way to do that. But before I go into that, I think I guess there's some update on what's going on. So there is a blog post about FOSDEM 2026. That was about maybe like 10 weeks ago, not last weekend, but the weekend before. And you can read about that under this URL. Still in February, there's another webinar about the EFP, Euro HPC Federation platform, and this time it's about the Federated Software Catalog. So I guess you could guess what this is about. I think it's with registration, so maybe you have to search for registration link and register. In March, very soon coming up, is the Euro HPC Summit. That's on Cyprus. And a month later is the EasyBird user meeting. That's in Portugal this year. And a little bit later, in June, is the ISC in Hamburg. Yeah, so just an update. So all these events, there will be probably some people from EasyBird available, and can meet them in person. Okay, so coming back to the topic series, getting access to EasyBird. As said, we have discussed the native installation of the CernVM-FS client first time, last week the EasyBird container script, and this week we want to discuss CVMFSexec. So this you can use basically if you have no ability to install the CernVM-FS client on your system. If you cannot use the EasyBird container script, but yeah, your Linux version somehow still has some features that you can use to get access to CernVM-FS. Let me just check. Yeah, okay, so that's already that. So I just go to the page. So this is the web page, is the GitHub repository by the CVMFS developers, CVMFSexec. It's a package. It describes basically 4 options you would have. The first one is if you have a user amount available on the system, you can use that. If you have a user amount available and unprivileged user namespaces, then that's another option that's supported. And on some, so the second option is also available for older systems. If you have a newer system, then they have unprivileged namespace fuse mounts. You can use that, and that's sort of the third one here is the sort of recommended option. And then if you don't have a user mount and also not unprivileged user namespace fuse mounts, then there's another option, but then you require some security installation of Singularity or Athena. So I thought that maybe this is a little bit tricky to know exactly what you can use on your system. So I did a little script. Maybe I can also show this. It's not really merged yet, but you can go to, let me see, go here to the file system repository, file system layer repository. Just made a little pull request for that. and you can just run this, and then it shows you what option you can use. So I can maybe show this on this test machine. So on this machine, I don't have, of course, on this machine, I have admin privileges, so I could use a different way, but let's pretend I don't have that access here. So there's, of course, no CMFS, CMFS available on this machine. There's also no singularity available. Sorry, no obtainer. Yeah. Okay. So what should I do? I can't. Let's pretend I can't install the client here, and I can't run the container script. So what I can do is I can just clone this repository here, and we go to my then, okay. So now there is a script in the scripts folder. It's called CVMFS exec _ check. I can just run this. And then it tells me, okay, so these are I think these 4 alternatives. User amount, so user amount I don't have on my system here. User namespaces are enabled and unprivileged namespace use amounts are also enabled, but this set UID because it's not enabled because I don't have any singularity obtainer on this machine. So what I can use is this mode 3 or alternative 3. What I have to do is, of course, I also have to get the repository for this tool, so I can check this out and get this. Okay, so that was quick. And then okay. So when I go into this, there's one additional step, and maybe I can show you what you have to do. I think it's also described here on the page. What you have to do, you have to make a CernVM-FS distribution, and that's basically one tool you have to run. Make dist. I think it's in this directory, yeah, and this, and of course you have to know how to run this. You can add some other arguments or so, but just for here, I think it's okay if we just do it like this. So this sort of makes this sort of distribution of packages so what you need from CernVM-FS. Okay, what do I have? Okay, now I have this distribution here, and then I think the only thing I have to do is, let me check. Yeah, so this is also described here. There's some options you have. And then the only thing I have to do is basically run this cvmfsexec command with the repository name. So I can maybe just try this. Exec, easy. Yeah, maybe it will compile. So it compilates a bit because it requires some command. So I could, for example, say something like, just give me content of this. Let's see what happens. So now you see sort of maybe these printouts are sort of known, yeah. So it's trying to mount CVMFS. Okay, and now it says it doesn't have such. Okay, that's interesting. So I messed up a bit here. Let me see what I've done. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. It's still not working. Yeah, let me just try what I have in my history. Looks. Um, okay, I didn't have it as, okay, so I should not double quote it. So that's the mistake. So I think yeah, so now you see it works. And now you see you get this. And of course, that's maybe you can run it like this, but it would be much better if we just say, okay, we just launch a shell, something like this, right? Then we are now inside a shell. And here we can just see that CMFS is mounted there, and we could also, so now there's nothing in the history here, so we can just initialize easy inside here. Function. Okay. Takes a little while. Okay. And then I can start using easy as I'm used to study it. Huh? Okay. I hope you believe me that I could now load Gronex and start launch a demo, right? Okay, so this works relatively easily. We had a blog post. We used this quite a while ago on Darkalion, where at the time CVMFS was not installed as a client, and we didn't want to use it via a container, or maybe it was not possible. So what we did there is, you can just go to this blog entry. Check if I find this integration. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so this is already, yeah, soon it's 3 years old, yeah, but it describes how to use certain software package, Espresso, on the Darkalion via easy and CernVM-FS, exact. And so this is a script here that sort of checks if it is mounted already is available. If not, then it does these steps with make dist, for example, yeah, and then runs the command you add on the command line via cvmfsexec. There was one trick we had to use to make it run with MPI to wrap what in the script. But then you can also just use this in the script here. So what we have here is we have this wrap, the script that sets up cvmfsexec, and then that's sort of the script that is run inside. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm going back to my slides. Then I'm done. I'm open for questions.
Maybe I do have a question.
Please.
So should we expect a better performance when using the native CVMFS, or it could be or should be similar when using the CVMFS exec.
I don't know. I would expect that you see similar performance. It depends maybe a little bit on if and how data is cached. So if the cache is retained between different runs, so if you can reuse that, and of course you see again some yeah some delay in the first time you run something, but then later on, if we can reuse the cache, then should not see the delay. The question in chat, let me check. It was only linked to the training. So anyone here who has tried CVMFS-exec?
I have tried it earlier.
And did you see a performance difference?
No, I didn't try the performance. That's what came into my mind now. So that's why I'm asking if you have tried it. Maybe if other colleagues who worked on Deucalion, maybe they did try and saw something. I don't know. But I guess what you said already, it might use the cache to improve the first run, or because in CMFS exec there is no the cache. But
Yeah, let me check a bit what is done here. So in this script, you use some temporary directory. So I'm not sure how the cache management that you usually do when you run with a container, how this is actually done here. Yeah, so could be that it is in this temporary directory somewhere, but I don't know. So that's an interesting question, maybe. I was wondering if I should try it maybe on one of the other systems, but of course then it's always that it's a bit cheating, yeah, because it's already available on all the other HPC systems I have access to.
maybe it could be interesting, as you said, at the end of this topic series, to run the same test using different methods and post the results just to compare. Could be a good idea.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, that's a question. That script to run in file system layer to check what is available. Okay, so I can just go back. So at the moment, it is only in the pull request I made. So let me go. So it was. So if you go to file system layer here, say get mode. So it's in my, I have made a fork of the file system layer, and it is in my fork in the simple CFS exec check branch. But there's also, I can show you again, there's also a pull request. So if I go back here, yeah, so there's a pull request for that. Was a bit question if we would want to have it here in this repository, or if maybe it's better to have it in the CVMFS exec repository. Well, we will see. Could also be maybe integrated into some other tool that helps in using EESSI.
I remember, Vladislav, in the earlier session, you were having some issues with the container. Did you get the chance to try this? Or would you like to try? And we can help you if you have some issues now, or maybe next session as you feel free. So, okay, not yet.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Do you want to give an outlook on the next topic next week? Chat.
Maybe you can also mention those, if you check the blog post of FOSDEM, there were some interesting,
Yeah, sure. Just
I can also post the links in the chat in case someone is interested to see some.
oh, lots of stickers. Okay. Oh, okay, so there was some work on some command line tool. Yeah.
Yes, and this also will be covered by some upcoming Easy Happy Hour sessions, something pretty new in Easy. So we'll see this. And there is food, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I've also pasted in the chat two interesting video links.
More food. Okay. Oh, that's nice. But here did you post? Okay, so two videos there are that were about talks at Frostham. Or?
Couldn't hear that. Were you asking me a question?
Yeah, the video links you
In
posted
the chat.
in chat.
Yeah.
They were for
So
what?
there are some interesting videos at FOSDEM
Mm-hmm.
in case anyone would like to have a look. So they're in the chat.
Yeah, okay. And they were for these two videos here, for this one here, or for something else?
They include this one too, yeah. And
Okay.
also we already posted that in the previous Easy Happy Hour.
Mhm. Okay. Good. Yeah, so maybe we can stop the recording and then someone else can ask more questions. What do you think, Richard?
Yes, I will stop the recording too.